I wanted to show this hive making jig that I made, which is used to create hive boxes. It uses a combination of 8 clamps. These 4 are mounted to a base, and I set my box in it, and then I clamp and screw. One of the things about how to get these clamps in the right that I knew was square, true, and flat, and used it to set the screws for how I mounted these clamps literally to the board. They're screwed fast from the bottom, and you'll see in a moment what it looks like when I set a full hive body in there to be screwed. So here you see the jig with a box loaded in it. What I like about the jig is now that I have it clamped, I know this box is going to be true and it's going to be square, and it leaves me hands-free to just concentrate on securing the screws. So I did say screws. I don't use nails. I know a lot of people glue and nail their boxes. For me, I always use the screws, and I use these trim head screws for my boxes. If I ever need to replace, and you can see here the type of screws that I use. Trim head square drive screws, 2 1/4, and they are the trim head ones which do not split the wood. That's why I use those. So am I getting a box as strong as if I glued it? I'm not sure. I could tell you that I've dropped these boxes fully loaded. They don't come apart. So let me go ahead and put this box together, and then I'll show you the next configuration. Here you can see the finished box. All the screws are in. I make them flush with the surface of the wood. And the box is square and flat, and I know it's going to be good. What I really like about this jig is that you could put different type of wood in here, and if it's got a little twist or cup to it, it'll flatten it and straighten it out, make it square. I build boxes sometimes, like those ones you see back there, out of just old plywood that's got a little warp in it, and when I put it in here, it tends to make it square and true. And then when you screw it together, it's more apt to stay that way, not develop a twist. So one of the key things about this jig is the bottom is sitting on this table, which is a table saw. That's hard and flat and true, and I'm going to make sure that I store the jig in a place where that board isn't going to warp. Otherwise, all of my boxes will have a little twist to it. Here you see the jig set up to build a nucleus hive box. These are made out of old scrap plywood that I had. I'm building a good number of them. I have a stack over there ready to build. The jig is secured with the blue clamps down underneath, with the red and black clamp that you see and the one that's on the other corner just resting on the board. They still provide a flat and square surface for me to go ahead and screw this together. In this case, it really is helpful to have the box set up with the jigs because it does help in holding it together. This is not a rabbeted joint or a finger joint, it's a butt joint, so it just holds them together that way. And you can see I have a frame sitting in here just to make sure that the dimension is true the way it's supposed to be. The last thing I want to talk about are these corner brackets. I found them at Lowe's one day while walking around shopping. This is an Irwin brand, and I bought a number of them. I think they were about $6, $8 a piece, something like that. I had an idea for a concept to build this type of jig, and when I found these, they were perfect for it. You can see they have a little bit of a hole right here, and it allowed me to screw up from the bottom, and they're threaded, so I could thread them in, and that's what holds them tight. The one thing I will tell you is you see the red and black ones. I found those online. I believe I ordered them from Amazon.com. I do not recommend these Irwin ones. No offense to Lowe's, but I've dropped these and the tabs have broken off. You can see this one is broken if you look close enough. Over here is the tab that sticks up, and on this one it is snapped off. And I've dropped them, just simply fallen on the ground, and they pop right off. I'm not very happy about that, so I will not be buying these anymore. So I've replaced them. I'll buy the red and black ones. So I have a bunch of boxes to get built. Hope you enjoyed the video.